Hey, let's go. Welcome back to the show this evening as we look at guys who were question marks heading into the season. 1 month in, are we buying or selling some of these players, some of these question marks? All that along with our who's hot, who's not, go get and cut segments. But as we always do, we begin the show by asking you the question, where else would you rather be than right here? Boom! Delayed right now. You're looking live at You're live at our split studios. This is Fantasy Baseball Now, episode 84. For our show, part of the Ball9.com podcast network, the Ball Brigade. I am Sean. This is Mike. What up?
Nothing. I tried desperately. Before I get into that, follow us at Ball9.com, on our Facebook page, on our application formerly known as Twitter, the X, Instagram, our YouTube channel. Subscribe on YouTube. The depth of knowledge that comes out of this podcast is underwhelming, to say the least, yet we continue to do it.
Absolutely.
I tried desperately to get Joey Cora and Rob Thompson to come on today, and neither of them returned my call. But Donnie Baseball in Philly.
Maybe they can trade him for Aaron Boone.
Working for his kid, the assistant general manager.
That's crazy.
Another manager fired two. In this case, two managers fired because either the general manager or the general manager in the organization, in the case of the Red Sox, don't have a flying fucking clue about what they're doing. And the manager took the hit for both. I mean,
the amazing part is Carlos Mendoza still has a job.
That's the I lost it. He was my first manager to be fired. I lost, and I don't know how he still got a job.
I know.
He got swept by the Rockies.
Yeah, truth be told, one of the guys in our league that shall remain nameless, Unstoppable, watched the doubleheader on Sunday during a colonoscopy prep, and he said he was thankful he was doing that. It gave him a reason to walk away from the game during the doubleheader.
The colonoscopy prep was less painful.
Yes, I think that's the point he was inferring.
It's curious the Red Sox move is very curious to me, in that they're a better team than they have played, right? You know they are.
Yeah. We both picked them to win the division. That's
the Phillies too. I picked the Phillies to make the playoffs. They're both better teams than they have shown. There's no question about it. But you win 17-1 and then fire your manager.
Yeah, that's
now you're on a little 3-game winning streak, which was bound to happen for that team. They're not going to be that bad. They're just not going to be. Crochet was shit. His last start, he was great. He was very good. Not great. He was very good. It's the big man. And the Phillies get Zach Wheeler back, helps their rotation, which they desperately needed.
Yeah.
And then, like, these moves, I get it, but I don't. I get, in the context of Carlos Mendoza still having a job in New York, I don't get it. I really don't. Like, I don't. And I'm shocked. And Kansas City's manager is still employed. Like, both of those two should have been going before either Cora or Thompson. But look at it from a fantasy perspective. Chad Tracy was not a great manager in Colorado, but he played the kids. So maybe Marcelo Meyer gets more of a bump. Maybe Peyton Toll doesn't go back to Worcester and he stays.
Everything I read was that Craig Breslau is married to this data analytical driven.
Oh, these driveline shitbirds.
Format. Yes, thank you for the name. I was escaping me. And Cora wasn't. And he staked his entire career on it. Andrew Bailey still has a job, the pitching coach, because he's in line with Breslau. Fine, good for him. Breslau's going to sink or swim with this. I know Cora's been under a lot of heat in Boston, but Jesus, outside of, banging garbage cans, he still won a World Series. I thought he was more popular in Boston than he appears to be.
Well,
Although it seems like the Red Sox brass is starting, when you fire somebody, you kind of start leaking stuff out the next couple days to justify it. That seems to be what's going on.
if you want to know how popular for me Cora was with the Red Sox, it's Trevor Story coming out immediately and saying, I don't know what we're doing here.
Yep.
Like that guy would run through a wall for us. And I'm sure that the Yankee players would say the exact same thing about Aaron Boone. I'm sure they would. I'm positive that they would. And the Dodgers players would say the same thing about Dave Roberts. I mean, it's mind-boggling. It is mind-boggling. It really is. It's mind-boggling to me that those two managers are the two managers. I mean, Phillies are 9-19, so are the Mets.
Yep.
When the Red Sox are 12-17, the Royals are 11-17. The Astros are 11-18. And that was probably a bad hire when they made it.
Yeah, they're just talking about him on their broadcast that he's got to be on the hot seat. Good message here from the big man about the Sox. Like to sift that stuff out into the wash once it's done.
Well, it is. I listen to the players.
Yeah,
like the players will tell you, if they say nothing, then the manager needed to go. But when they come out and they question the direction of the organization and then say how much they like playing for a guy, it's a bad move. It's not like Roman Anthony said it best. It's not his fault that we suck. He puts a lineup together and we got to go out and do the job. And they're not, and until the last 3 nights, they haven't been getting the job done. And it is fun for me. I do like it when they're terrible, and they're losing again tonight. So that's a lot of fun for me. But the simple reality is, when the Red Sox and Yankees are both good, baseball is far better. It's far better because that rivalry heightens the potential of late season drama, and they're a better team than they've been playing.
Sure.
And obviously you can't fire all the players. And we'll get to one of the guys that they ruined when we talk about who we're buying and selling. But yeah, it's a rough couple days for managers. The axe has fallen.
Hey, for the buy and sell, I want to read these comparable stats, and I'll try and keep it nice and clean because I don't have a graphic for it. Player A, 108 at bats, hitting 241, 1 homer, 7 RBIs, 16 runs, 6 stolen bases. Player B, 109 at bats, different to 1, 238 batting average, 3 points less, 2 homers, 1 more than player A, 8 RBIs, 8 less than player A, 14 runs, which is 2 less than player A, 6 stolen bases, which is a wash. One of them, owners, including you, dumped them to me, which trade that hasn't worked out to me, is Pico Armstrong. He's player A. And player B is Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to highlight some players, but there are a lot of players. And the context of this was, our conversation was like preseason, who were people talking about? And I mean, we're going to cover a total of 10. There are another 30 we could talk about. Like
sure.
You asked me before we came on, I can't believe you didn't have O'Neal Cruz, because the whole world was saying O'Neal Cruz was going to have a massive season this year. And I smoke screened that he was going to suck and I'd never have him again. And he's had a pretty massive season to this point.
I thought he was going to be terrible.
I thought Acuna was going to be an MVP candidate.
I told you I didn't like Acuna this year coming back. I was a little worried. I was worried about his steals, not his other stuff. The other stuff surprises me. But let's start with PCA because we both had him on the list.
Well, let's go to
if his numbers are basically flat with Acuna, why are owners you traded PCA?
So here's our buy list, right? So you've got PCA, Cal Raleigh, I've got Jazz. I've got Jackson Merrill.
I got Terang and
And you got Bryce
Sal.
Terang and Sal Stewart.
Yeah.
So
Let me go back to PCA for a second with Acuna. You traded PCA. The owner in our league would like to. He's given him one. This week he's got 6 games against righties. There's big concern about PCA because he was terrible the second half of last year. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of concern about Acuna coming off that bad injury. Is that an inconsistent viewpoint, or is that just people aren't sure about PCA? But Acuna,
I think it's data making the decision, because when we go to the sell slide, PCA's on my sell slide. Obviously, I traded him. I'm out on him in the worst way, because now you got a full season of nothing from him. Literally.
Well, I have PCA on my buy list, but very, very low. And I made an offer for him the other day that I was almost embarrassed to post, but I did anyway. And it was rejected. So it's a low buy, but I don't think you can tell yet. But he's a guy, if you want him, if you believe in him, now's the time to go get him, especially if he shits the bed this week.
Right. And it's like Cal Raleigh's in a similar spot, right? There's catchers that are having better years than him, and we both knew he wasn't going to hit 60 again.
Yeah.
Or maybe he will, but we were both pretty confident that he wasn't going to. And he started to slip in ADP and was starting to go from, the middle of the first round to the middle of the second round as draft season went on. But there could be owners very frustrated with Cal Raleigh right now.
He's got 5 in his last 5 homers, last 7 games. But yeah, again, you want to buy him because you said he's not going to hit 60. You just can't project that. But look, I'm a Drake Baldwin guy. He's my catcher. I don't need Cal Raleigh for my team, but if I needed a catcher or needed an upgrade, I'd absolutely get after him and hope that you can get him a little cheaper than what he was going for during the draft.
I agree with our pal Bayu 02215.
I told him he had to be on here tonight because I was going to be making this correlation, and he owns them both.
I agree. Like, Acuna could go, like, in that comparison. We could possibly do that in 2 weeks, and PCA would be stuck in a similar number in a similar number trajectory, and Acuna could have 7 homers.
Absolutely.
And 13 stolen bases.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when he gets on a tear, he's on a legitimate tear. Like, I knew Jazz wasn't going to go 50-50. Jazz said he was going to go 50-50. Jazz started out terribly. He was still stealing bases. He was still scoring runs. His on-base percentage was up. Now power's starting to follow with him. And owners could be frustrated. Like if you had Bryce Terang, if I had Bryce Terang and you had Jazz, and you sent me a trade offer for Jazz for Bryce Terang straight up right now, I would do it. If it was the other way around, you probably wouldn't.
Well, Bryce Terang is on this list because the question about him was he ready kind of to become a breakout star? I think he's the best second baseman in fantasy. I think Ketel Marte's come back a little bit, and I don't see it in Jazz.
Yeah, he definitely has.
He has just exploded on a team that just wins games no matter what they do. We talk about them all the time. He's on pace for 24 homers, 112 RBIs, 124 runs, and 43 steals. That's pretty good.
It is pretty good. I mean, Sal Stewart's the easiest one of all these, and the hype with him based on what he did when he literally he was the boost that got Cincinnati into the playoff game last year.
Well, the question about him was, where's he going to play? Are they going to find at bats for him? Because they thought Suarez was going to move to first base. I don't think anyone's got to worry about that anymore.
Suarez gets hurt, and the person that's probably suffered the most, though not recently, is Spencer Steer.
Yeah.
And then I was way in on Jackson Merrill early. Early. He wasn't healthy last year. He just didn't have a great year last year, and he got him on the cheap, and he's off to a really good start, like back to Jackson Merrill back to Jackson Merrill of 2 years ago. So I'm buying the hype on him, but then we go to the flip side, and you're buying PCA, and I already dumped PCA. I'm already out on him.
Yep.
I'm way out on PCA. I'm also way out. I said we were going to mention a guy that the Red Sox ruined. The Red Sox ruined Jarren Duran. Some of it is self-inflicted. Some of it's definitely self-inflicted because of some of the stupid stuff he does. They should have traded him in the offseason when they were talking about trading him. I've already traded him. I mean, he did have a couple of nice at-bats on the weekend when the Yankees were sweeping him, where he started to drive the ball the other way, which is better for him.
Yeah.
But no, he can. I'm out on him, and I don't care if Adley Rutschman has 8 2-homer games in the next 4 months. There are 9,000 better catchers. There are better catchers in the minors than having him on your fantasy team.
I hate to do this, but I get so few victory laps. I have to
put him in the catcher's gear because in the catcher's gear, when he's behind the plate and you're putting a team together, it's like Patrick Bailey. Like, I need a catcher. Rutschman and Patrick Bailey are probably near the top of my list because they'll get some hits, but they're going to manage a great pitching staff and their clubhouse leaders. I like them both as a baseball player, but from a fantasy standpoint, I'm done with him.
In our 2025 season preview, I ranked him as the 9th best catcher in fantasy and took kind of a beating on that. And I don't want to be right about this. I love Adley Rutschman as a player, but I can't figure out what exactly has happened to him.
So now he is
just falling off the cliff, and he's still very young.
He's still very young, and he's still the heart and soul. He's still the heart and soul of that team, no matter what. Like, he is still the heart of that team. I'm just trying to, let me just see if I can find, here we go, 2025 catcher. Hopefully this worked. No, it didn't. So,
well, you're working on that. I want to bring up Trevor Rogers because you got it.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Nope.
I had Rutschman 5th, and you had Rutschman 8th.
8th. Okay.
2025. And
Trevor Rogers' ADP was 163. I thought Rogers' ADP of 163 was way too high, meaning he should be picked before then. Now I'm looking at that. I mean, he had a 4.92 ERA in Miami in 2024. Last year, I think that looks like an aberration right now with a 1.81 ERA, 0.90 whip, strikeout just under 1 per inning. I think I'd be selling that if you could.
I would be too. His last 3 starts have been not good.
No.
What he was last year is what he flashed in Miami. But they're not a good baseball team either. Back to Rutschman. You had Rutschman 9 this year. I didn't rank him.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I think there's still value in trying to trade. Like, I'm not 100% sure what you'd get for Rutschman, if anything, if people would even entertain it unless they had an injury and they needed a body. Rogers, there's still value in making a move to move him. PCA, we know there's value in him, though. Most of the people that have been paying enough attention for the last 8 months of baseball don't. And Duran was Cam Smith. That was his value. I mean, which is sad as shit because I was high on him coming in.
Yeah.
I was really high on him coming into the year, and I thought he was going to be a difference maker in that outfield and force other decisions that they, between Rafaela and Abreu, that they weren't prepared to make. And instead, he did force those decisions, and it was him not playing against lefties and Abreu and Rafaela playing pretty much every day and Roman Anthony playing every day. They're going to ride out Roman Anthony no matter what, because that's the future face of the franchise. But he's not living up to 64 ADP. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
But much like Sal Stewart, you never bail on dynasty guys. You just don't bail on them.
No.
You can't, because it always, I don't know about you, well, it does for you too, but it does for me. It always comes back. My impatience at times has killed me over a long haul.
Yes.
Just killed me over a long haul.
So far, so good. I think we've both been patient. I mean, you moved on from Duran, but who would blame you? I think at the time.
Speaking of so far, so good, last week,
yes,
there was a little banner floating around here that your self-professed statement that you were Mr. First Place.
Correct.
And I was just wondering how that's going.
Well, it's a long season, and you got to take the good with the bad. And there it is. I'm down 3 points tonight.
So what you're saying is you're no longer Mr. First Place.
Well, in my heart and soul, yes, I'll always be Mr. First Place.
Right.
No, if you look at the standings right now, you, sir.
So who would be Mr. First Place right now?
It would be you.
It would be me. It would be me, wouldn't it?
No, just remember, you can't win a league in April.
You can't win a league in April, but the league has expanded back to 6 points mystically.
Yeah, no.
And
we'll just call you Mr. April.
It's not Dave Winfield, Mr. May.
Yes.
O'Neal Cruz does have another home run tonight.
Does he? I thought opening day he should have just handed in his cleats or left his cleats on the pitcher's mound like wrestlers do and just disappeared.
And to whatever owner in our league, and I can't remember who it was, that cut Colson Montgomery when he was off to a terrible start, I just want to say thank you. Because he's homered again tonight. I almost saved him, but I had Zachary Neto on my roster already. I almost saved him because of just from a dynasty standpoint, but Neto's age is pretty close, and Neto steals far more bases, and he does have one. He does have one tonight. But all of a sudden, Montgomery's homering every night.
Yeah. All right.
I should have put Royce Lewis on the sell list because
Jesus.
I made a decision.
Pennies on the dollar.
I made a decision this morning when Travis Bazzana got called up that, I guess that I got to get rid of somebody and fuck this idiot. I'm done. I'm so done.
Hey, man.
You're right, big man. It is hard to believe. It is hard to believe, but it is week 5. So we got a ways to go. If we're having this conversation in September, then everybody should be questioning their ability to participate.
All right. Should we go to there we go.
Former Yankee.
Yes.
And a name that I never thought I'd ever even bring up again.
Hey, last 14 CBS 10th ranked player. He's 3-1 on the year. Strikeout of 1 per inning, ERA 2.41, 1.04 WHIP. I think he was lowly valued this year because of that injury, but he's responded nicely. He's actually started in 86% of leagues, so it's not a secret. But yeah, if you dug out and got him during the draft, good for you. I'd hold on to him. I love Michael King. I think he's a great pitcher.
Right now is about 1 full calendar year from when he got hurt.
Yep.
Pretty close, right? So he made it back in time he could have pitched at the end of the year if they wanted him to. Yeah. The stuff's back. And then in the weakest position of weakest positions, the position that makes everybody insane, the turn back the clock guy, Nolan Arenado, in the last 14, 405, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, 8 runs scored, still only 57% owned and 40% started at a take a flyer on a guy. I need him for a couple of weeks position.
Yep.
Right now, maybe Nolan Arenado is a guy to go think about grabbing, but he is hotter than hot, which is good to see. It's good. It's good. It's good to see. I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I think his glove might get him in, but he's going to have to fight uphill to do it.
That'll
And
be
the Colorado numbers. The St. Louis numbers were okay. The Colorado numbers are probably going to have an impact on that.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting case because the Colorado numbers don't usually pan out for guys.
He may be waiting around. Like it might be like a Todd Helton thing where all of a sudden somebody will finally say, first of all, the numbers are the numbers and where he played is not his fault. But then you throw platinum glove third base play in and however many gold gloves he has, which is multiple consecutive gold gloves. And it just may take some time for him to get in. But it's good to have him on here. It's nice that he'll suck next week. I'll probably have him as a guy to cut, but it is what it is.
That's okay.
And then who's cold? Oof.
Yeah, my rookie chased the lottery. Got to hit his first at bat tonight.
Both these fucking guys.
He has slowed it down. 182 in his last 14, no homers. Be patient. He's got talent. To me, I go back to when the Indians started him the Guardians, started him in a playoff game for his major league debut. That's all I needed to know about his potential. So be patient with Chase the Louder.
And then the King of Spring. The King of Spring. He's back. He's driving the ball. He's stealing bases. He's hitting for power. Matt McLain. He probably should be on my cut list, but I can't let go of him in a couple leagues that I have him. Last 14, 195. He does have 2 homers, 6 RBIs, 7 runs, but he struck out 13 times and 48 at bats.
Ouch.
He's still 74% owned and he's still 54% started because he's that guy. He's Royce Lewis. He's going to get hot. He's going to make, and then I'm going to wish I didn't have him on my bench. And second base is a challenge to try to place to try to have a consistent player there if you don't have one of the top 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But I've been picking everybody up I can in leagues where I have him. So I don't have to cut him just so I can play a second baseman for a couple of weeks until he maybe figures it out or he moves onto another slide in the next 2 weeks, which could happen very quickly. I can't give up on DeLauder. I've been talking about him for 2 years.
No, don't give up on him.
And the guy that on the next slide, I was hyping last year, and it was abysmal for him. But holy Christ, man, Chase Dollander, he is.
Is this a groundbreaking moment? The first Rocky pitcher ever to be on the go get list?
Yeah, I can't. Who would there have ever been in the history of our league?
Nobody. None.
Gabe Marquez has made an appearance a couple of times. Maybe Mike Hampton made a couple of appearances in our league. Chase Dollander is a go-get guy. He was going to be my go-get-him guy.
Yeah.
Which is fine because I was all over him last year. And one of the weird things, and I was watching because I'm an idiot. I was watching the White Sox and the Angels last night, and Kay was pitching for the White Sox, and they shared his whipping ERA when they use an opener versus his whipping ERA when he was the actual starter.
Yep.
And in the opener, his whip is like half a batter less an inning, and his ERA is 3 points less.
Wow.
It's like 4.67 versus 7.67 ERA when he starts. That's what they've been doing with Dollander and bringing him in the second or maybe third inning. He's been blowing people away.
He's number one in CBS the last 14 days, 29th for the year. The amazing part about him, he's exploded, but it's that stigma of being a Rockies pitcher. He entered the week owned in only 36% of leagues and started in just 19.
That's crazy. I would
39 Ks and 32 innings, ERA of 1, 2 point, the other way around, ERA 2.25, whip of 1. Damn, I mean, I went to pick him up and saw he was already in our league. I don't think I've ever gone for a ride.
So he's not walking guys, which was a problem for him last year. He throws 101.
Yeah.
Like routinely.
That's fast.
Not touches 101. Like he'll throw 7 pitches to a batter, they're all 101. And then my guy, Mason Wynn, who at a very deep position, that's all of a sudden shaken up a little bit with Dansby Swanson sucking and Mookie Betts being hurt. Mason Wynn got off to a horrible start. A horrible start. In the last 14, he's 319, a homer, 11 RBIs, 8 runs, a steal. He's still only 34% owned.
Yeah.
And he was an all-star 2 years ago. And it's not a mistake. He's definitely a guy. He's a depth guy. Middle infield in any league where you have a middle infielder, he should be rostered.
Sure.
And if your shortstop is underperforming, as you know, Lindor gets hurt and I need a shortstop, there's a guy to go get. And then these two idiots.
Ryan Nelson has been on. He's been cut in our league like 9 times already this year.
My fucking cousin.
I don't get the infatuation with him, but I'm glad you got him on here because every time I see somebody pick him up and literally his next start, he gets cut. I'm like, he's the Shane Mack of his era in our league where just everybody seems to go get him. I don't know why they go pick him up and then they live the experience and they cut him. He isn't very good.
On the season, he has a 1.52 whip and a 7.71 ERA.
What about that makes you say go pick him up? Hit add.
In the last 2 starts, he made it through a total of 5 1/3 innings. His whip is 3.38 and his ERA is 23.68. He's still 55% owned. Like what? I mean, I get it.
Is it the first name? It's the correlation with Ryan Sandberg, Hall of Fame second baseman?
It's the last name. People want to be like me.
Well, you are Mr. First Place, so I can see that.
And then your fucking guy, Goldilocks, this fucker, holy,
Hey,
he's why Brock Compton got fired. He's one of the reasons. Him and Bryson Stott.
Why? He's hitting 143. I mean, it could be worse. 1 homer. He still started in 21% of leagues owned in 53. What are you waiting for?
Well, that's how bad third base is, though.
Go pick up Nolan Arenado for crying out loud. He's on the hot list.
Go pick up Nolan Arenado. You still could go get Josh Young, who's still on fire.
You could get Mike Schmidt and do better.
An empty house is better than a bad tenant. Yes, for sure. You'd be better off with Mike Schmidt, Greg Nettles, Eddie Matthews. You'd be better off with any of those guys that do absolutely nothing. And you know what's crazy is he's awful. He's awful. He's really bad. And the only reason I feel bad for him is because his parents stole money from him, which is another crazy fucking thing. He's not that far behind Austin Riley. Austin Riley, who I was way in on, he's close. He's very close. Third base is better. Third base is not a fun position to have to deal with in fantasy. Corner infield's easy because there's 80 first basemen. Third base does not help that at all. Both these guys, how about this? Get off my roster. And Alec Bohm, as a matter of fact, you got off my roster because you know why? You were killing me. I'm off to a good start in spite of that idiot being on my roster.
There you go.
Then we look ahead to next week, as I like to call graduation week, because I'll be at 3 graduations next week. Christ. But I will be in our nation's capital for a 105 game on Thursday of next week between the Washington Nationals and the Minnesota Twins. Me, my soon to graduate daughter, and 35 of my closest friends will be attending that game.
The Twinkies are starting to hit the ball a little bit.
And I will absolutely be wearing an Expos hat.
There you go. There you go.
So I actually like your choice was my first choice until I dug into the Cubs schedule.
Yep.
And you got 2 7-game teams, and I like them. I like them both.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I wouldn't have guessed when I set out on the scouting that I would get the Marlins just because they're so dull. But they're actually not so dull. They're ninth in batting average and ninth in
their offense is it's not their offense.
Yeah, but they got the Nationals. They're 29th in ERA. The Orioles are 20th. That one game in Philly is going to be against Christopher Sanchez if nothing changes. But it's still a pretty good staffs to go against if you want to pump up some numbers.
Well, yeah, it's going to be against Christopher Sanchez, but the Marlins have given the Phillies fits for the last 2 years. And then the Cubs playing Cincy for 4, who, I mean, they're going to get Andrew Abbott for one of those games. They're going to get Brady Singer for one of those games. So there's a pile of runs. And I mean, I just watched 3 games from Texas, and they should be 100 times better than they are, and they're not a good baseball team.
Yep.
They're not a good baseball team. They're one of the greatest enigmas I've ever seen. Too much talent at too many positions to be as bad as they are. They're bad. They're not a good team. They're not fun to watch because they make a ton of mistakes. And your pitcher, I got to tell you, as a Yankee fan, he's having a really good year.
He was their 5th option last year, and that was a scary 5th option because of injuries. I loved him last year, and I loved him coming into this year. I wish I owned him. He started in only 62% of leagues. His last three before this week, 2-0, 2.16 ERA, 23 strikeouts, and 16 2/3. Texas at Milwaukee's going to be a tough chore, but Will Warren, he's established himself in that rotation.
But at Milwaukee won't actually. Texas might be a tougher chore than Milwaukee only because he's prone to give up home runs. It's just if he can avoid the inning where all of a sudden he walks 2 guys,
yeah,
then he's a little scary to me. But he is young, and those are good matchups. And I like Bubba Chandler only because they're at Arizona and at San Francisco, and both of those teams could get 1 hit any night.
Yes.
I mean, both of those teams could in any given night, they could end up like right now, through 4, the Arizona does not have a hit. Against Craig Patrick of all people.
I believe he was my 2-star pitcher of this week.
He was indeed.
Yes.
He wasn't. He was indeed. Mine was Steven Matz. We'll see how that's.
He was good last night.
What was the comment today when he got picked up? The most frustrating pitcher. The Mets had 8 runs. What the hell?
Craziness.
Shouldn't be surprised. Zach Littell started for the.
Maybe they'll fire Mendoza now.
Yeah, they're going to win 13-0 tonight.
He did purge all his Giants. He cut Robbie Ray the other day, and I was like, "Wow, geez, his numbers are pretty good."
He cut Robbie Ray. I traded Robbie Ray today in a head-to-head league for Hancock, and I don't even know why I did it, because to me that trade's the same trade.
Robbie Ray is a guy I just don't want. I looked at it and I'm like, his numbers are pretty good, but man, I don't need that roller coaster thrill ride.
He is that. He's another guy. Though it's the one start. And that one start, and it's only 1 in 5, but that 1 in 5 is so bad.
Well, yeah, and then you get skittish on playing him, and then you bench him, and he strikes out 12 in 6 1/3.
Right. 2 hits, a walk.
Yeah.
9 strikeouts, 5 1/3 innings, and they lose because they can't help themselves. Yeah, it's pitching's interesting, and it isn't getting any better.
Yep.
It's not. I mean, it's still crazy up and down. There's still really good starters. Friend of the show, Seth Lugo, unbelievable start. Next start, I think he gave up 23 hits in 5 innings.
Yeah, Lugo and Brian Wu last weekend. Lugo and Brian Wu last weekend are the reason why
Brian Wu was awful, right? That's unusual.
Brian Wu's not striking anybody out. I mean, they're the reason why I am now in the second place position.
I mean, Castillo got torchlit last night, like obliterated.
Yeah.
The cream is slowly starting to rise to the top. I mean, Nolan McLean looks good. Schlittler's off to a pretty decent start tonight. I mean, Skeens is throw the first start out. If you took the first start of the year out from Skeens, he's the number 1 ranked. He's ranked higher than Soriano in fantasy. Who's, by the way, because he's must watch for me. He's down 1-0, but that one hit that he allowed, he does have 3 walks tonight, which is a lot for him. That one hit was a Colson Montgomery home run.
His
ERA had ballooned to 0.44 after tonight, and his whip has skyrocketed to 0.86.
Do the Mets pull a Red Sox and fire Mendoza after an offensive explosion?
Should have fired him after they got swept by the Rockies. For me, right? Like, of any of the 3 managers that just got fired, and I'm not disagreeing. I'm disagreeing with the Red Sox firing core. I think I just think it's a short-sighted, reactionary. We got to do something because our fans are pissed. Move, and they just pissed their fans off even more.
I think Bob wants Mendoza out.
The Phillies fans wanted Thompson fired for 3 years, so he's a pretty vanilla guy, but he's a smart baseball guy. Mendoza when they got swept over the weekend, it should have been Black Monday in Flushing.
Yep.
And it wasn't. And it just shows that they don't have a fucking clue. They really don't. $800 million in payroll on their offense. Their starting rotation outside of McLean and Freddie Peralta's he's been okay, but he gets no run support. Outside of those 2 guys, they're terrible. There are 2 relievers that they signed from the Yankees who are going to save their bullpen and fix, as it turns out, with Diaz being hurt. They're both terrible. I mean, Luke Weaver's been better lately, but he hasn't been great before the last couple outings. Devin Williams is a disaster. They're not a good team. And meanwhile, all these moves that they make, Bradley Nimmo's having off to a phenomenal start for the Rangers. Of anybody.
Worst trade in the offseason.
Players, he's off to as good a start as any of those guys.
Worst trade of the offseason.
Marcus Semien is doing what?
Has he been on the cut list yet? Because he should be.
No.
He should be on the
hasn't
Marcus Semien should be on the what the hell were you thinking when you drafted him list?
been. That might be a new one. That might be a new one. Why
He
did you
hasn't done
even
anything.
why did you
Years.
even draft this guy? Like what is wrong with you?
And
I mean,
the only answer that I'll accept is excessive alcohol intake. And that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, he's hitting 216. He's hitting 216. He scored a total of 6 runs.
That's a lot.
He has an home run, 8 RBIs. His on base percentage is 275. He struck out 23 times in 100 at bats, and he's got a grand total of 7 walks.
Oh, I think.
And the only thing that's helping his on base
the Met
percentage
fans
is
getting defensive.
he was hit by a pitch.
The Met fans getting defensive here.
Well, first of all, he can get as defensive as he wants. Clay Holmes, Jesus, I'm going to ride my wagon to the playoffs with a converted relief pitcher who he's having and now he's facing the Nationals. He's having a great start tonight. But they're going to have to go to the bullpen soon enough, and this game's going to get right back in front of them.
All right.
I mean, Bo Bichette can't catch the ball at third base. He does have a home run tonight. He should probably be playing second base. He hit his total of his second home run. Another guy with 27 strikeouts and 116 at bats. So they strike out way too much. They don't have any plate discipline, and everything that's wrong with that team shows through the manager. Juan Soto not talking to his teammates while he's on the IL for 14 days is 100% a reflection of the manager because he allows him to be disconnected.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a shame. I hate to see it. I root for the Mets to be good because when the Mets are good, then guess what happens? At the end, they fuck it up. And then that's even more fun for me. This is just another season. This is just a sad state of affairs that is only getting worse, and there's no defending him. And Bob's big pull is Clay Holmes. Like that's your big pull. Come on.
Oh boy.
Holy Christ.
I don't think we had a Yankee victory lap on the city of New York on the itinerary tonight.
We didn't, but you brought up Carlos Mendoza. I'm still mad that in my Calci first pick predictor market to get first pick fired, he didn't win. So I'm still angry at that, but what are you going to do?
All right. Well, next week or Tuesday next week, right?
We are Tuesday next week, and we will do the April Fantasy Players of the Month, which will be pretty easy. We'll probably talk about Carlos Mendoza being fired and who the new manager is for Bobby Valentine back in business.
Alex Cora.
I did see the Yankee fan get his ass kicked last night, and his girlfriend get thrown down the stairs. That was nice. It's a nice touch. Little Texas Roadhouse brawl last night in Arlington. It's all good.
Yeah, how was the ball game there, Joey? Yeah,
Did you get a foul ball? No. Where'd you get all those scrapes and bruises? Well, I did get my ass kicked a little bit. It's been a while.
Thank you, big man. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Todd. Next Tuesday, April Players of the Month.
It ain't gonna be the guys that were on our cutting list, I can tell you that.
You might hear the name Parker Messick.
You will not hear Matt McLean's name. I can guarantee it. Guaranteed.
All right. See ya. One more comment. What is it? There it is.
Yeah, I know.
All right, we're out. Big
You have to know how to
Space
use a computer to be on this.